Hey, everybody. Welcome
Hello,
to
hello.
Rocket City Reseller Presents Launchpad. Today, we got a great episode for you. Whether you've been selling for 20 minutes or 20 years, we are your mission control for all things reselling. We want to welcome our special guest, but we'll do that in just a second. We're going to talk about our hosts. We have a special guest host today. We're going to start with Four Seasons picker, Ruth Ann. Was kind enough to join us. Actually, she shed 244, could not make it today, but that's okay. Ruth Ann's got this. We appreciate you coming along, Ruth Ann.
Thank you
And
so much for having me.
of course, we have Miss Ellie, Tennessee Treasures from Whatnot
Hey,
Acclaim and now Static Reselling. Awesome.
back at the
So,
game.
and we want to welcome our special guest today, Miss Stefany Fuson. Welcome into the podcast.
Hello, thank you. Thank you for having me. Thrilled to be here.
Yeah, we were so
So
excited
glad to
when
have you.
Oh,
I was
thank
just
you.
like, we've got to have Stefany on.
Definitely.
First of all,
Oh, thank you.
I'm a new follower to you. I just found you for some reason, and I know you've been doing this forever. But for me, I was just like humor, reselling, and like bolos, and it's like a hybrid of all things.
Yeah,
And
thank you. Well, I blame the algorithm for that, for not bringing us together sooner.
Suppression. Yeah,
Yeah,
do
thank
better. Do better, YouTube.
I know.
Absolutely.
Right? YouTube, Instagram. Come on. Yeah.
Instagram. I got all of them. Right? I got
Zuckerberg, get
TikTok, all
on
this stuff, and how do I not know Stefany? And if you don't know Stefany, you're about to find out. And
Ooh.
we want to say
Right.
a huge shout out to Ellie, Tennessee Treasures for arranging everything behind the scenes.
Yeah, thank
And,
you. Thank
yeah.
you.
Good
Thank
job,
you for
Ellie.
responding. I've been sending messages left and right to people, and it's,
Yeah, for sure.
it's tough out there.
Yeah.
It's tough out there in them streets for these podcasters. They're not like another YouTube podcast, but this one's going to
Yeah.
be a great one because we have a lot of questions. First, though, Stefany, why don't you
Okay.
tell us a little bit about yourself, how you came to reselling, and all the things?
Oh, well, that's a long story. No. I mean, I've been reselling on eBay since 2002,
Oh, wow.
which is pretty much when that's the year I graduated high school, and it just started out back then. You didn't have digital cameras or anything, so I started out by selling McDonald's toys because I could scan them in on my scanner and get a picture that way. And then I did a little bit of wholesale kind of selling. Like when you go to Spencer's gifts and stuff like that, and you could look to see what kind of things that they have. I would buy like novelty things like that, like little purses and novelty cameras and things like that. Concert t-shirts you could buy in bulk from wholesalers. Those are the kinds of things I was originally selling. Sold that on eBay for a while, and then I kind of took a break, when my kids were smaller, and I started selling at a local kids consignment sale, and then also like a ladies group that met like once a week. So I would sell a lot of clothes that way. And then I just got back into eBay eventually. Probably about 6-7 years ago, I really got back into it more, listing 10 to 15 items a day. And I don't really sell those kinds of things anymore. I sell a lot of toys, parts. I do a lot of trash to cash kinds of things that you would think that you're just going to throw out, but you can make money from, like a vacuum cleaner that no longer works. So, what I've sold has really changed along the way, along with what people will buy.
That is awesome. So let's rewind a bit. So when you first started in 2002,
Yeah, that was 100 years ago.
100. It's been a while.
Feels like
It's been
that,
a while.
right?
The reselling
little
game has
bit,
changed,
yeah.
I'm sure, quite a bit over the course. Obviously, you went from scanning stuff into a computer to now just everything
That's
digital,
crazy.
social media. It's blown up, right?
Mhm.
So, when your kids was this pre-children, pre-marriage, or pre-relationship?
Ooh, pre-relationship. No, I've been married since 2006. I've been with my husband since 2003. I've worked retail jobs along the way. So when I
Gotcha.
wasn't selling a lot on eBay, I worked at Gap, Kohl's, JCPenney. I did JCPenney Portrait Studio and Walmart Portrait Studio. So I've done a lot of things. When my kids came along, so my kids are almost 17 and 15. When my daughter came along, yeah.
I have a 17-year-old. I get it.
Yeah, when my daughter came along, it's like, I can't keep working like this. It's just not working to have, family babysit my kids. What can I do to
Right.
make money instead of going in to work at, 9-hour shift at Kohl's,
Yeah.
So that's when I started doing the kids consignment stuff. We have 2 consignment sales that come up around here that pop up twice a year, and I would sell their stuff, and then I would go to Goodwill and buy things. Back then they used to do $1, clothing day once a month. And I would get 200, 300 pieces of clothing, for a each, sell them at the consignment sale for $5, $6, $7 a piece and, make money that way. Or at that lady swap group, same thing. And there were no fees there.
Yeah.
Did you ever come across, sorry.
Go ahead, Ellie.
No,
No,
go
go
ahead.
ahead.
Did you ever come across some of these like bolo items that are like going for hundreds now? And you're thinking back like, man, I should have held on to some of those, like the character, like Barney, Teletubbies.
Yeah, I think about all the things now. I mean, just how it goes, though. Things that are worth nothing now are going to be worth something in 20, 30 years. So,
Right.
a lot of the toys that my kids had, exactly. A lot of the toys that my kids had that I probably sold at a consignment sale for $5, $10 are probably worth 40 or 50 now. But
Yeah.
I'm not going to.
So hard to anticipate that.
No,
Yeah, good luck finding what, right?
Exactly. And where am I going to put all that stuff? So, I mean, it's out the door. I don't even keep, some people keep things for grandkids. I know. Out the door. Once my kids are done with it, out the door. So
It's just a
I
different
agree.
game now. Things are mass produced, I think. So it's hard to predict. If you didn't know, I'm a software engineer. I do a lot of data analytics and predictive analysis. So I try to always look for trends in market. They call them signals and noise. Try to find what's going to trend and it does help with reselling. But trying to predict what 20 years from now, what is going to be worth holding on to, man, it's just hard to say.
Yeah, there's just no way to tell. I mean, things that were popular a year ago or 6 months ago are just kind of dead in the water, like Squishmallows, for example.
Oh, don't get me started.
I think the hottest seller 4 years ago. Anyone that you pick up.
Exactly.
And, I think now the trend is like the jelly cats. Everybody's into the jelly cats, but they're becoming so mass produced kind of like in 5 years. Are they going to still be worth something? Probably not, unless they're a certain one, probably not. But you just got to ride it while you can. And it is what it is.
Yeah.
I'm
to find that trend. Go ahead.
I'm a firm believer too, that anything that's quality, there's no point in hoarding it, because when it does come back around, you're going to find it. You're going to find it. It's going to be out there.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I've seen, like you were saying with the kids' toys that I've sold. Yeah, some of those things have come back around, things that my kids had, 15, 17 years ago when they were babies. Yeah, I found them again. And sometimes they're worth something and sometimes they're not. And then I've seen things that I had from when I was a kid. It's like, holy smokes, I forgot about this. And it came back from the recesses of my mind,
Definitely.
So.
Yeah, one of the things that you brought up in one of your videos was Gem and the holograms.
Oh yeah.
I was thinking to myself, I remember that. And I remember watching the episodes. My sister was diehard into that. And I was just like, wow, core memory unlocked. I hadn't thought about that in probably 20 something years, So
it's crazy that things pop back up in your mind and you thought you forgot about them. Yeah.
Yeah. What do you think for you? You mentioned that you did a little bit of a trash to cash and your reselling style. Let's first talk about that. If you can just kind of cue us in. For those that don't know Stefany or are not following her, you need to stop what you're doing right now. Even if it's leaving this podcast, go follow her.
I agree.
Wait, there's more. But why don't you talk about the switch? It sounds like maybe you were doing toys at first and then you kind of moved a little bit.
Yeah, well, in the last couple of years. So when I first started on Instagram, what I really started sharing was selling stuffed animals and toys and baby blankets. And a lot of my original videos on YouTube, it was about that, like how to find good stuffed animals to sell. And the reason I sold those is because I could go into the stores and there would be huge gaylords full of stuffed animals. And you could just pick carts full of them every single time without fail. And then I think the thrift store started throwing those things out. So it got to the point where I wasn't finding stuffed animals and I wasn't finding blankets at all. And you can't tell me people aren't donating them. Right. You can't go from hundreds of them to basically none. So last year was really kind of the tipping point for me of changing what I was selling because I wasn't finding the things I was selling anymore. And it just kind of started with I think it was a Ninja blender was probably what got me started thinking about the parts. Because you could take the pitcher from a blender. Okay, well, I could sell that for $40. And I got the lid, and that's another $40. And then it just, okay, well, that's just easy. Let me just go from there. And then it got to be, well, what if I take this whole vacuum apart? Now what, what can happen there? And yeah, I mean, it's just crazy, so you can get the clutch out of a vacuum or take the wheels off of a vacuum. Depends on how far you want to go with it. But, within the last year, I really learned that, parts are really where it can be, where it's at. And you can find anything, take anything in your house that's broken, vacuums, blenders, food processors, anything that you have that's broken, and just part it out. And if, it's crazy that people need these parts, because you can't go on like the Ninja website and go get a replacement pitcher or blender, for example. And okay, well, maybe that buyer's like, okay, well, I'd rather spend $40 to get a new pitcher versus spending $100 on a brand new, blender system. It makes sense to them just to do that. So
yeah, I agree with that. Short little story. The other night I was on a train and I had a Indiana glass hen on the nest that sold for $57 in the train. It was on the Climb the Whatnot Ladder train. And as I was packing it, I dropped it.
Oh no.
I dropped the top. The head part of the chicken. $57 worth sale. Luckily, I had another green one in my stash that was coming out for the next train.
That's serendipity.
Because this past summer I cleaned out an estate sale. I got like 40 hens on the nest.
Whoa.
And
those are really popular right now, I've noticed.
But I was really bummed about the money loss, even though I could replace it. And then the ding 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 went off in my head, and I'm like, I wonder if I could sell the bottom.
Yeah.
So I put the bottom on, and it was gone in about 45 minutes.
Wow.
The bottom of the nest sold for $55.
You didn't lose anything.
I didn't lose anything.
Right.
For almost as much as the whole nest sold, the bottom sold.
So somebody did the opposite as you. They dropped the bottom.
Exactly.
Isn't that crazy how serendipitous that is? Like, you broke the top and they broke their bottom, and then you had the pieces and it made a whole one again.
I know it. It's wonderful. It's wonderful. Yeah. And luckily I had another green hen on the nest.
Yeah, exactly.
So I didn't have a disappointed customer, but I was disappointed because I thought, now
$57,
Yeah,
and then you get spiraling. It's like, oh my God, $57. That's my water money or whatever. I could have bought groceries with that. And
yeah.
I get that spiral too. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, we do get excited quickly when I get excited quickly when things don't go just right, and you got to put it all into perspective.
Yeah, it's hard not to. It's hard not to, because you see that as a paycheck. You probably equate that with your bills. $50 is a lot over the course of your day, probably.
Right.
Yeah. Well, my very first thought was, oh my gosh, how am I going to tell this person?
Oh yeah.
How am I going to tell this person I broke her hand?
Heartbreak.
There's a picture of it broken on the floor in case you don't believe me. Yeah.
Yeah. And then I started thinking, oh my gosh, I might have another one. So I started digging, and there it was. It was a little different color, but it worked.
That's so crazy that you had another one to begin with. That's really crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not really familiar with hens on the nest, or is that what it's called? And
they're just like glass hens.
Really?
Yeah, for whatever reason, they're very popular right now.
Yeah, they're viral right now.
Let's make her bigger so we can all enjoy. There we go.
And on the nest, these are hot right now.
Yeah. What's something
they
like
come in all hot colors?
You said like 30 to 50 for that?
No, if you put this on, like, say Etsy, you're probably going to get $75.
Holy cow!
Wow. The other night I got anywhere between 45 and 60 on the Climb the Whatnot ladder.
Okay,
that's amazing.
So
I think people come to Whatnot for a deal, so that makes sense. Stefany, have you ever? I know that you're a static reseller. Let's talk about some of the platforms that you're selling on before we ask you the Whatnot question. Where do you sell?
I sell mainly on eBay, but I also sell on Mercari, Poshmark, and I get technically Bonanza. That's an auto importer of eBay, so it mirrors your eBay store, and very rarely Facebook Marketplace. Yeah. I used to sell a ton on Facebook, but yeah, No.
Yeah, for some reason in Facebook Marketplace, I don't know, for me anyways, I know people have different results with that. For me personally, I know Ellie, you do a pretty fair business on Facebook Marketplace, don't you?
I do a good amount.
Yeah.
I think I don't remember if it was last year or the year before. Facebook Market sales were about 5,000 of what I made.
Oh wow, that's pretty
yeah.
decent.
That's not bad.
Yeah.
That's mostly just pickup, local pickup. But I did do shipping on Facebook Marketplace for a while. They just changed how that works now, though.
Yeah, I was doing the same thing for a while with Facebook Marketplace when it was integrated into the system where you could use their labels, and that was great.
Yeah,
And
it
then,
was nice.
And then what happened is their AI, I thought it was real smart, and half the things I was posting, it would come up as not allowed. Like if you're putting a dog stuffed animal, no dogs allowed, no pets. This thing is can't, then the Nerf gun, no weapons allowed. And then eventually I got kicked off.
Oh,
So
no.
I made a new profile, which is separate from my regular Facebook profile. And I hardly post anything on there now because I'm just afraid the same thing's going to happen. And sometimes it still does flag the most random things. And it's like, I don't even know, you guys. I really don't know how this $1 billion company just can't detect what's a toy and what's a genuine dog. I mean, you can't tell Blue's Clues from a real dog. We got a problem.
Yeah, and people are worried about AI taking over. You can't even differentiate between
exactly
a real dog and
exactly.
So I sold a lot of toys on there last Christmas, but what I mostly sell on there is like bigger furniture, quicker $50, $75, $100 items. I think that's why maybe it added up so quickly. But when I'm going to garage sales, I'm always finding like the garage sale leftovers, and so I'll kind of take advantage of that stuff and just post it.
Yeah,
I love that. Yeah, very good.
That's a good reseller hack right there. Don't be the first to the yard sale. Be the last, and then you can get all their stuff because they don't want to load it and bring it out to the Goodwill.
Yeah, they're like, take it, please.
I've done that before. I've walked into a garage sale before, and they were packing it up, and I said, "Oh, are you done?" "Yes, we're done. It's all going to the thrift store." And I just plainly said, "Could I be your thrift store?"
Yeah.
Hey.
And their eyes got about this big, and I said, "I'll take whatever we can get into my pickup." And
there you go.
Basically, we got it all.
Nice.
That's a
and
good
it was
pickup
kind of
line.
in a high-end area, so it was nice clothes, and so I agree, Bob. Be the last.
Be the last.
Yeah.
If you're not first, you're last, right, Ricky Bobby?
Yeah.
I guess in this case, it's the other way around.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, it can be. Yeah.
So Stefany, the whatnot question came up. Thoughts, concerns, feelings on whatnot.
Wow, I didn't know this was a therapy session on whatnot.
Well, the podcast is normally a therapy session.
Wow.
Just so you know.
Okay. Who's the therapist here? Are we all in the
I guess it would
insane asylum here.
I used to be a beautician. Does that count?
Yeah.
Second.
Okay, well, I've never tried it.
Okay.
So I guess I don't really have much of an opinion on it because I've just never tried it. I don't want to say one way or the other because I've never even dabbled. Never
even bought.
No.
Fantastic.
I have never even logged on the page. I've been served many an ad. They have tried their best.
I'm surprised you're even getting ads. I didn't think they marketed it.
Oh, yeah.
Like
they have ads on YouTube. I've seen other like YouTubers, like Disney YouTubers. Like, I don't know if you watch Paging Mr. Morrow. He talks about whatnot a couple of times. Yeah. Yeah, I've never tried it, though. No.
That's good. It seems like you're pretty busy with your reselling business and
that's why I haven't tried it, because I'm just like not sure about the time that goes into it and taking out the time to do it. And I don't know. I've thought about it before, like I know a lot of people use it for stale items that they've had in their eBay closet. I've thought about doing something like that, like after the consignment. So what I do is if I have stale items, I'll bring them to the kids' consignment sale. And then I might either donate them or have a yard sale. But I've thought about, okay, well, what if I took those items and tried whatnot instead? But I've never gotten past that point. I didn't know if it was worth the time, the energy, everything.
It takes a lot of both, I think.
Yeah.
I know that Ruth Ann and Ellie and myself were all on whatnot. And I would say, and my wife, of course, I would say that it's the most intentional, hands-on, time-consuming but also a great deal of
Rewarding.
blessings as well. So it's kind of like this give and take.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
I
it
know
can be
that
rewarding.
it can be. It's paid for 2 Disney Dream vacations,
Wow.
Christmas vacations for us. It's paid
Wow.
for a septic system. We've had a lot of success, and it's a good way of increasing your cash flow. I'm not trying to convince you or sell you on it. I'm just saying that those
No, I
are some of
definitely
the
hear it.
things that can happen with it. I know that Ellie's had a lot of success on Whatnot, and also Ruth Ann. I think Ruth Ann, you're up to 12,500 sold
Yep.
on there.
Wow.
Yep.
Yeah. And
Wow.
how many sold do you have, Ellie? Do you know?
Oh no, I was going
Off
to
the top
check.
of your head, I was
gonna
I
ask
put her
me.
on the spot. I
Wow.
personally have 8,000 sold on
More.
Rocket City Reseller. My wife
Wow.
sells on her own account. So
There's a lot of wave benefits from Whatnot too that for me personally, I before I went live on Whatnot, I my reselling business was great, but it was lonely. It was
No.
lonely because I
Um,
live out in the boondocks, and
Mhm.
I would see a reseller once in a while at the thrift store, the post office, and my whole world changed when I went on Whatnot and went to Nashville and met these 2 wonderful friends to my on the left side of the screen, and it's just been a for that reason. That's probably one of I think you know the other platforms are wonderful to make
Mhm.
money on, but Whatnot brings
eBay will always have a personal like place in my heart. I
me
think
too.
it's also Macari for me too. I broke my teeth on Macari. Like that's where we started reselling. It's a damn shame what happened to that platform. It's just for us, anyways. I don't know how your experience has been, Stephanie. Maybe you could talk about Macari's changes over the past year or so. Have you seen a dip in
You
that
know, I always hear
platform?
people talking about this, and what I find interesting is people kind of like poo poo on Mercari, but I feel like Poshmark has made more missteps than Mercari has, but yet people are always like Poshmark stands for whatever reason. They're like, no matter what Poshmark does, they're still gold for whatever reason. So I do think the issues with the Mercari changing the shipping and going back and forth on their shipping and their fees, a lot of people just didn't like it. Got a bad taste in their mouth. A lot of people jump ship. Then again, like I said, Poshmark has kind of done the same thing, but people are still sticking with it. I still sell on Poshmark. I sell a decent amount there. I think I sold more on. I mean, excuse me, on Mercari. I think I sold more on Mercari than I did Poshmark last year. But I cross post everything that I can, so every little bit, it all kind of adds up. And Mercari did change their shipping again. They're doing like a promote. Well, no, it starts in February. They're doing some promotional rated shipping. I think it's $4.99 for 1 to 5 pounds or something like that.
Oh wow.
Which that's a great deal because like everything
Yeah.
that I just did shipping this morning on eBay, everything I shipped was at least $5. Even for an 8-ounce package or a 1 pound package was at least $5.
right.
So if you can get a 5 pound package on Mercari for $5, I mean that's pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
So
Definitely.
agree.
yeah, and I think the ease of listing on Mercari, I do like that. I think anybody can jump on Mercari. Same thing with Poshmark. Anybody can jump on and start selling instantly.
I think that's why we
eBay
had so much. Yeah, I think that's why we had so much success early on, is because we started in that, and we didn't
Yeah.
start initially on eBay. Kind of grew to that,
Mhm.
but for us, Poshmark and Macari have always been like our go-to. And we sell. You don't have to just sell clothes on Poshmark. A lot of people don't know that you can sell
Right.
pretty much anything on there. We
Yeah,
sell
I
a ton of plush.
Yeah, I sell like hardly any clothing, period. So everything I sell pretty much on Poshmark is non-clothing. Like I shipped a tea kettle on Poshmark yesterday.
Yeah.
So,
Some things that actually are going on behind the scenes on Poshmark, for those that don't know, they were recently hacked. They had a really major security breach late last year. So that's kind of swept under the rug. But I
interesting.
made a post about it in our Facebook group, Resellers Refuge. If you're a reseller and you want no condemnation or judgment, you just want to ask questions and get answers, Resellers Refuge is for you. Come join us. Just quick, shout out, because that's important, because a lot of Facebook groups, Stephanie, do you agree? Like, you're probably a part of few that sometimes it feels like you can't ask a question without judgment. Would you say that to be true?
Yeah, I don't really post a whole lot on those pages, but I have noticed that the absolute vitriol that people, they're just like, well, if you're asking that, you're stupid. Or why are you asking something like that? I don't think there's any stupid questions. I mean,
No.
really. And I just don't understand that people that feel like they need to be almighty and all-knowing and everybody should know. And that's just not how the world works. We all start out knowing nothing and we have to learn.
Right.
And, I mean, I always say I learn something new in reselling every single day. For anybody to assume that anybody knows anything, I mean, they're wrong. And if anybody tells you they know everything, they're wrong.
Yeah.
So
Right.
I don't like all of those kinds of people.
It's okay to know a lot of things, but to be a know-it-all is definitely
right. You can be a jack of all trades, master of none. But if you're going to go around saying that this is the only way to do it, and this is, I know everything, I'm an expert on everything, and well, you're just an idiot. Well, that's really close-minded to me.
Yeah.
So,
I know that
it's not respectful, you know.
I know that Ruth Ann, you have a Q&A that you do on Whatnot on Wednesdays. Is that right?
Yep.
How have you seen your response in that? Is that growing? How is that working out for you? It is?
It has struggled this winter because I'm the main snow removal person. So I've had to move several of them because we've had snowstorms. But it is a great place. People come on, and almost every Wednesday morning I get a new seller on there, and they're so happy that they found a group, because it isn't just me. I call it Let's Learn Together, because I have so much to learn. And every Wednesday morning I learned from my own chat.
Yeah.
And people come in, and they're new sellers, and they're just so happy to meet a group of people that will help them without judgment, you know. And me as the host, I every Wednesday morning I profess how much I need to learn, because my business has been run on a wing and a prayer. And I just learn as I go.
Right. And that's just how the world works too, I think.
That's reality.
You go. Exactly.
So Stefany, I got another question. We're going to switch gears a little bit. There's been a lot of talk about promoted listings and eBay, and thoughts and feelings on this. I would just like Stefany Fuson's take on this. Feel free to be humorous if you'd like. I know that's ridiculous. A lot of it is ridiculous. A lot of it is like kind of I think the resellers have a point. So what are your thoughts on promoted listings and the recent change?
Do I like it? No.
Well, I'm not asking you.
But yeah, well, okay. Well, I'm gonna start off with does anybody like it? No. Is it the way that it is? It is the way that it is. So I have a whole video on promoted listings and how it works. This is pre the change. So do I like that? No matter, like, if Jim Bob clicks on a listing and Joanne buys it, I'm still gonna get charged the promoted listing fee? No, I don't. I guess the way I kind of look at it now is it's a billboard. Like, you're buying a billboard on the interstate, and it doesn't matter how many eyes see that billboard. If one person sees it and one person buys it, that's what you're getting charged the fee now, basically.
Yeah.
That's a great analogy. You got to pay for the billboard. You got to pay for the billboard anyway.
So, and then the other thing is, I'm not making an assessment. I'm keeping things the same as I've always done them, which is a 2.2 to a 2.3% promotion rate on everything that's $20 to $25 and above. Is what I've always done, basically. I'm not changing anything until I see the numbers. Now, if I see like, oh my God, I'm getting charged like $1 million on promoted listing fees, then maybe I'll change it. Maybe I'll change it where I'm only promoting higher priced items. But I think the knee-jerk reaction where people are like, I'm just not going to do it anymore, screw eBay, I'm going to show them. Well, you're not showing eBay nothing. It's their sandbox and you're playing in it. So you pay to, it's one of those things where you pay to play sometimes.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I'm just going to stay the same until I see my numbers at the end of the month, and then I'll make an assessment. But all these people are getting all hot and bothered over something like this. Calm down. Just calm down.
Hot takes with Stefany. She's keeping it real. She's keeping it real.
Always.
Yeah, for real.
I did run a small test, though. I did run a small test in November and December.
Okay.
Because I just wanted to see, excuse me, what would happen if I didn't promote?
Okay.
Because I've promoted on eBay from the beginning.
Right. Okay.
So I took promoted listings off from everything, and my sales barely changed. And I was only promoting anywhere between 2 and 3%.
Okay.
So I was way down on the promoted. If you're going to believe the algorithm that people promoting at 10% are going to get a better, view than the people at 3%, I don't know.
Right.
How do we ever know?
Exactly. We don't ever know because there is no way to know if somebody
Exactly.
bought the item, whether they saw your promoted listing or not. There really is no way to know. Now, if it's only a 1-month test, what I have heard is that it takes longer for the promoted listings to kind of stop working, and you really need to run a 2-month test run to see.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's one of those things. I look at the numbers and where it says you spent, I'm going to make up a number, $100 on promoted listing fees, and you got $2,000 out of it. To me, spending $100 for a $2,000 is worth it. Because like if somebody said to you, "Hey, do you want to buy this item for $100? You can sell it for $2,000." I don't think there's one person that would go, "No, I'm not going to do that." Like to me, it's worth it in that way. Could I have saved that $100? Maybe. Well, you will never know because there's just no way to know.
Right.
I mean, there's no way to know.
Ellie, are you promoting on eBay? Just curious. I know
I'm
you
not.
just recently picked back up. You're not yet. Okay.
So I just recently got back on eBay after being banned for 2 years.
No.
I got banned. I had too many cancellations.
No.
I was in the middle. Yeah, I was in the middle of a move, and then I had 3 kids. I wasn't organized enough.
Yeah.
I appealed, and they let me back on. I only promoted 2 of my listings, but I'm only currently at like 25 listings. So that's not saying much. I just got started.
It takes a while. Yeah.
Yeah.
It takes a while.
Yeah.
Well, first and foremost, I'm glad you're back on eBay. It's definitely going to be great. If you don't know what Ellie has in her treasure trove over there, Stefany, you would be absolutely amazed at how many toys she has.
Oh, is this the treasure trove behind you, or is that your personal collection?
It's like 1% maybe.
Oh, yeah.
No, everything's for sale.
Love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah, so I think all of us sell toys and plush, and I know that's just a small portion of what you do, Stefany. We're going to talk about now let's go deeper into the parting out stuff. I want to talk about that a little bit. What's your craziest part out? Like the least you paid for it, maybe the most you got in return, to your recollection? I know that's a tough question.
Yeah, I have a really poor memory. I always say that I forget things the second I have packed them up and put them on my doorstep, to the point where I don't even remember what's in a box after it's on my doorstep.
Fantastic. That's how I live my life.
There's just so many things that pass through my hands. Okay, I mean, for like biggest profit, I do remember last year I had picked up a Shark vacuum on the curb. And I thought, okay, well, this is probably not worth that much. It's just a Shark vacuum, a corded one. But I sold the canister, and I don't know, I parted out as much as I could, and I probably made $200, $300 off of a vacuum at the curb.
Nice.
That's it. Podcast is over.
That's inspiring.
Anybody can do parts because they've all got something around their house that they're not using anymore. And then you see vacuums at the curb all the time. All the time you see a vacuum at the curb, or a shot, anything.
You know what's amazing about that? It doesn't end up in the landfill. What you parted out and sold to somebody and wherever,
right?
It didn't end up in the landfill. I love that part.
Right. And I did a whole video on how I part things out. And in that video, I had used a Dyson vacuum to show like how you can, this vacuum is worth, let's say, $200 as a used vacuum. Or you can part it out and I can get however many hundreds of dollars out of this vacuum, depending on how far you want to take it down, to the nuts and bolts. And you could say, well, I don't know how to take apart a Dyson. I didn't. So, but YouTube, believe it or not, there's a YouTube video for almost everything. And there's this guy that was taking apart the same exact vacuum, showed it step by step how to take it apart to get everything out. And there you go. And I found that for almost everything. Keurig coffee makers, I've taken those apart too. Instant pots. You don't know how to do it? Okay, well, somebody's got a YouTube video on how to do it. And, here you go.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's amazing that people are actually
the
fixing
parts are
things.
worth more than
Yeah.
the whole thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
People are actually fixing things now, which is kind of pleasant to really see again, because for a lot of times we become a country of just consumerism. We're just buy a new one,
Throw away
just buy a new
society.
one, don't bother fixing it. But I think that speaks to the times too, like
Yep, it
economically, things are changing, the economy. Some believe it's not good, some believe it is, whatever you believe. But
Right.
obviously the data doesn't lie, and you're seeing increased sales in regards to parting things out. So that just tells me that's a market indicator for me that people are looking to fix stuff instead of buying new.
Right.
You know what I
right.
think?
Go ahead.
I think too, though, that as far as fixing things that maybe are older, I think the quality of the things in the past were much better than the stuff that we're getting now. So I think that has a lot to do with it too.
That's 100% true. Especially on, like, let's say I can make a direct comparison on the Cuisinart food processors. Those things are heavy. A lot of metal parts in those. And you get one now and it's basically all plastic and it weighs, 5 pounds versus like a 20 pound food processor. Right. And then a lot of things now are made with a bunch of plastic parts, which deteriorate and break. And, once that little gear breaks, you're donezo. And unless there's somebody selling it on eBay or whatever, or maybe somebody has 3D printed one, now that thing is whole trash.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
And it's crazy. Yeah. There's a documentary on Netflix last year. I don't know if you had seen that. I'm trying to remember what it was called. But it was basically about how all these companies make everything to be purposely disposable and all the stuff that's ending up in the landfill.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And how they're trying to change the laws. Like, on the cell phones, the right to repair policy they're trying to pass. So you can repair your phones instead of, having the battery that you can't even get into now on your phone. Stuff like that.
Right.
Yeah, fix
so
things.
Much waste.
People. Fix things.
Yeah, there is so much waste. And it is so easy just to throw things away. People don't even think of it's not even a thought in their head because they're not seeing the items in the landfill. They're just like, oh, I don't need it anymore. Trash it. It's not my problem anymore. It's not in my house. It's not in my yard. It's not my neighborhood. It's gone. But it doesn't go anywhere. It just goes to somebody's beach, somebody's landfill.
Yeah,
Right.
It's sad.
Yeah. It's amazing though how many people, like even in my own family, somebody will need something like maybe my dad wanted this certain pair of pants. And I said to his wife, I said, well, have you ever looked on eBay? And she said, well, why would they be on eBay? They made them 20 years ago. And I said, that's why they're going to be on eBay.
Exactly.
Because they made them 20 years ago.
There's a bin bro out there saying, yo, I got you.
Yeah. I mean, it's amazing the people that don't realize they can replace their coffee parts on eBay.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. And they have something they like. I mean, that's what I always say. People like what they like and they know it works and it's worked for 30 or 40 years. To them, it's like worth buying that new lid or buying that new carafe or whatever, because they know that item is going to last for the next 40 years, most likely.
Yeah.
Instead of buying something now.
Brand specific things like this t-shirt I'm wearing is a Cool Temp Hanes t-shirt. I can't find them anywhere. I even scoured eBay. I'm trying to find them, and it's my preferable. I have a few left, and that's it. So I can definitely see the appeal in finding things that that you are specifically looking for through eBay, and a lot of people don't consider it. It's almost like a black market.
Well, yeah, because you're relying on somebody else's knowledge to see that item, pick it up, and put it on eBay. Like the average person isn't going to see a T-shirt and go, "Yeah, that's got value," but it takes somebody with a certain mindset, a reseller, to put it out there for the next person.
We have a reseller here in Mora, where I live, and that's all they sell is parts. And every time I see them at the post office, they've got 200-300 packages. Like every other day, they've got 2 or 3, and they're doing like boat motors and small engine. And the husband does all the tearing apart, cleaning the parts. The wife does all the business end, and they are just on fire with parts.
Wow,
parts only.
Yeah. It could be really lucrative if you just have the time and patience and knowledge to do it. Anybody can do it.
Yeah, this is the message for those that are actually out there and are thinking about a hustle. That's that's the point of this podcast, is to really focus in on the business part of reselling, and to let you go and be an encouraging word in regards to reselling. So if you're hearing our voices and you're just now getting started in reselling, or you're thinking about reselling, I want to encourage you guys to get out there and try it, even if it's just Mercari or Poshmark initially, or even eBay if you're really tenacious and you want to get after it. I can't say enough about how it's impacted our family financially, and also just keeping the lights on, and food on the table, medications filled, all the things that you might be struggling with out there. So I can't say enough about that. But yeah, Stefany, I got a question for you.
Okay.
Why social media? How'd you get started? I know that's kind of a big question, right?
Okay.
So what was it that brought you? Because you obviously been reselling for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
When did it start for you? What was the thought process? If you want to walk us through that.
Well, I think I started out on Instagram, like I want to say in 2020, and I just started following other people. Thrift to Travel and Cosmic Deal Heather were probably some of the first two, and I still follow them today. I started following them and going, oh my gosh, like Thrift to Travel, I didn't know I could sell used beauty online. And same thing with like Cosmic Deal Heather. I didn't Barbies. People want these certain Barbies or dolls and stuff like that. So I'm like, okay, well, what knowledge do I have that I can share too? Because I'm getting knowledge out of these other resellers. What can I share? And like I said, at that time, I was selling a lot of plush and blankets. I didn't see a whole lot of other people selling plush and blankets, 6 years ago, and sharing it on there. And that could be on the algorithm, not sending them to me. But so I started, sharing my sales of those kinds of things. Then eventually I started making YouTube videos probably around that time. Yeah, probably around 2020. And the same thing. I wanted to share what I knew, because if I, got value out of other people's content, what value can people get out of my content? Because I always also thought seeing what they sold kind of changed my life and opened up my eyes to what can sell. And you don't know what you don't know. Right. And what if somebody can go, oh my God, look at that plush, look at that blanket. That's $20-$30, and $20-$30 can make, a difference to somebody. And, I just wanted to educate people and help people, just like I was being helped by other people, kind of like just, passing the circle around.
Yes. That's so cool.
So yeah, then I just started, I started sharing on Facebook in last August. And that was kind of, let me go back a little bit to the Instagram and Facebook and YouTube era. I took a long break kind of on there because I wasn't really getting any traction. I'm doing this for free. It takes a lot of time, as you know, to make content.
Oh yeah.
And it eats into your time that you have to resell and actually make money. So it's like, okay, nobody's really seeing these posts sometimes, like no new people are. It's kind of discouraging, but in August, I'm like, okay, I'm going to try one more time to, do a push and make more videos, trying to make it more consistent. And I started sharing on Facebook and TikTok. I made it up to 18,000 followers on Facebook. I've only got like 7 on TikTok, but 7,000 on TikTok. But I'm trying to reach more people. I'm trying to make some money at this eventually. So
yeah, I think you're gonna catch fire, and because a few things, I think, and remember, I'm a data analyst, so I know things. I think that your humor in reselling is sorely needed. Yep. I think the community at large is, I don't want to say stressed out, but they could use that type of approach. I don't see it very often. If there is somebody else out there doing it, YouTube just hasn't sent them my way yet, right? So I think that's part of what's going on. Plus, your videos are also educational. So they're not only funny, they're humorous, they're also educational. So I think that's important. And that's what YouTube is meant for, right? I think that's how it started, right? To educate. And just the traction in which you get, like people opening their minds into the possibilities of what can sell. So it's a little bit of a BOLO and also kind of like a what sold all in one. So it's all of those things in one, which is a very niche,
very entertaining.
And this is super entertaining too. So
yeah, I try to make them entertaining and funny because I feel like people are going to remember things better. And you may not remember what exactly I sold or why I sold it, but you might remember why I sold it, or you might remember the joke that went with it, or it might just spark something.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not trying to have you like have rote memorization. It's like this exact brand and this exact thing. And that's not what most of the things I sell are. It's like, why did somebody buy this kind of thing?
It's a why that drives you crazy. I've said it a million times on here. I think they're not going to remember what you did for them, but they're going to remember how you made them feel.
Exactly. It's that same kind of idea. It's that same kind of idea. Yeah. And then, like you were saying with the resellers being stressed out, I think that was a lot of content I was being served up when I first started getting on Instagram and YouTube. It's all these resellers and this hustle culture. Everything is hustle and grind. And if you're not working 24/7, then you're a loser and you're not trying to make money. And why aren't you out there, hustling? And it's like that. It's not that serious. I mean, we all got to make money. We all got to pay our bills, but not to the point of hurting our mental health and not having a life outside of reselling. I mean, reselling is a big part of my life, but it is not all of my life.
Well said. Well said.
Well, honestly, that's last night I'm in the kitchen making dinner and I'm listening to your videos. And I'm just cracking up while I'm cooking my dinner. And I'm like, I love the lightheartedness of these videos.
Well, thank you. Thank you. I try to make them entertaining. I really do.
Educational and very lighthearted. And I can't say enough about them because you have a great personality and it really comes through on your videos.
Well, thank you. Thank you.
Very informational. You're a good teacher too. I was watching the video that you were just speaking of, the vacuum video. I was actually just watching that video as well. And you go into like a lot of detail for how to go through that process if somebody were to want to tear apart a vacuum. It made me consider tearing apart some stuff that I've got sitting around.
You should do it. It's really going to open up your mind. I think once you start selling parts, it really does open up your mind to the possibilities of what can sell and what will sell and how far you can take something down to the nuts and bolts and get money out of it. Definitely. Yeah, I enjoy making the videos and teaching people. I've got a curious mind, and I just want to help people because I know what it's like to not be able to find things to sell and being frustrated and being like on the verge of having a mental breakdown because you go into the thrift store and you're like, all the bolos that I see on everybody else's video, I'm not finding any of those things. Like I'm not picking up $100, and that's another thing I see in a lot of videos. It's $100 bill, this, that, and the other, and it's like that's not a reality.
No.
In the thrift stores around me, and I have a Diary of a Reseller video series that I did last year, where I showed like some of the thrift stores that are in my area and how high they are, and this is why I sell what I do now. So I just want to help other people because I know what it's like to not have enough to sell and just being really frustrated because you got bills to pay, you got kids to feed,
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, teenagers are not cheap. I know all children are not cheap. I mean, it takes a lot to raise a child nowadays. Let's talk about sourcing for a second. We're not going to ask you obviously where you source, but in general, generalities, obviously. So thrift stores obviously are high in your area, and let's talk about your area. You're out of
I live in Pensacola, Florida.
Okay.
The Panhandle. It's not in the good part of Florida. Maybe you're familiar with the beach, but I'm not on the beach.
I've been to that area before to visit a friend, and I was surprised. I get what you're saying.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Yeah, the Panhandle could be a little tough neighborhood, but you know what? You sound like a tough young lady. So.
Yeah, no, it's fine. I mean, where I live directly is perfectly fine, but like the thrift stores here, 2 thumbs down, basically. I do a lot of. I like to go to estate sales. Number one, I'm nosy. I love to see other people's houses and see what they got in their drawers. Literally, I like to see their drawers sometimes. I will sell granny's used panties if I can find them, but rarely I do. No,
there's a market for everything, Stefany.
As long as it's not moving, I will sell it.
The dark web.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, probably. Like estate sales. I will go to thrift stores sometimes, and sometimes they're good and sometimes they're bad. And now that I'm selling parts, it's the options are a lot more now. I really don't like yard sales too much because I hate having somebody breathe down my neck as I'm looking at something and then ask, how much does that sell for on eBay? I don't need that kind of interaction, I guess, when I'm trying to, work. Yeah, it's a lot of estate sales, I would say, right now.
Have you ever tried flea markets? I know Florida is known for some of the biggest ones in the country.
No, the flea market here, I have been to the flea market here. It's really full of fleas. It's not good. There's really not that many people that go out there. It's a lot of vendors that have like Dollar Tree kind of things. I'll put it that way. It's a lot of those kind of vendors. And then, yeah, it's a lot of junk.
The Temu sellers.
It's what, I'm sorry?
The Temu sellers.
But yes, it's like, a lot of those kinds of things. Alibaba. Yes.
Alibaba and Temu.
Yeah.
No thanks.
Yeah.
That's a hard pass.
It's not in the greatest area of town either. So I haven't done that in a long time. I think it's probably been 6 years since I've been to the flea market here. Wow. There was a vendor there at one point in time that was selling like grocery items that were discontinued. And there was a gum at that time that I was able to sell. I don't even remember the name. It was some kind of caffeinated gum that I could get for like $1 and sell it for $25.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, things like that, or seasonings. I don't even remember what they were specifically, but this one particular vendor had some things like that. But I haven't since then.
There's a viral seasoning for Bridgerton, the show on Netflix, I think.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, there's like a series of like different seasonings.
Oh, the sugars, I think. The seasoning
like
sugars,
like something like that, yeah.
Cream or something. I think I saw that.
I think they're going like viral right now, or they were viral. I don't know. I'm always behind the scenes in regards to that type of thing.
Same thing. I'm not really good at that retail arbitrage. I know a lot of people are. I feel like I'm always behind the 8 ball. By the time I finally see something, it's not worth anything anymore. So I rarely ever try with these retail arbitrage things.
That's not my thing either.
Yeah.
I know there's money to be made there. It's just and we should have a person on with retail arbitrage and see. I think I know somebody here in Alabama that I could ask to come on the podcast and talk about it. There's basically their sole income is to do that type of thing. Yeah. Find like discontinues and stuff like that.
It's just like anything, though. You got to have the passion for it. You got to have the passion for the reconnaissance to figure out, what in retail arbitrage is worth it. Because Stefany's right. For somebody like me, I'd be a day late and $1 short on that.
Yeah. They just don't come across like I guess I'm just not on the right side of TikTok or social media to see what these viral things are.
Right.
So by the time I see it, it's just way too late. I know Cosmic Deal Heather, she's done several videos on retail arbitrage. I know she said she's kind of getting out of it, but I'm sure there's other people that do more of that though.
I'm going to tell you something about yourself that you may not know, Stefany. Ooh, here we go.
Okay.
So you're an influencer.
Okay.
Okay, now hear me out, everybody. You made a post on social media about the Hulkin dupe.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
About the what?
The Hulkin. It's a bag with the wheels. It rolls around, It's meant for whatever you want to put in it, basically.
It's a rolling bag.
It's a rolling bag, yeah. Mm-hmm. I went to Aldi's. I went to 4 Aldi's.
Oh, no.
I went to 4, I think. 3 or 4. We finally found it.
Okay.
You influenced me.
Wow. Is that the bag you put? Is that the bag you put on a post not too long ago?
I don't know if
it was like 2 weeks ago. So this bag, it's a dupe of the Hulkin bag. It's just basically a tarp-like bag that's on wheels. And a lot of people love these Hulkin bags and they're $100 or something like that. But Aldi was going to have a dupe. Now, I don't have a Hulkin. I didn't plan on buying this bag, but I know a lot of people like these bags. So I'm just, hey guys, there's this bag coming out. I posted it. And that post had like almost, I think 900,000 views on it, which is more than anything I've ever posted, which is wild. I think because it got outside of the reseller realm. It wasn't just the people that were following me. It was people that wanted the Hulkin bag. And it was
viral.
Just one of those, yeah. And it was just one of those things. I almost didn't even post it. I just like Aldi. I was looking at the Aldi ad and saw it. Yeah. I didn't even buy one.
Those are popular for the bins.
I have 3. I have 3.
Okay.
So you influenced me 3 times.
Wow. Is it worth it? How does the Aldi one
So,
compare?
Yeah, let me get it. I mean,
Yeah,
I
let
can
me.
get it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm
let's
curious.
do it. I'll go ahead and get one. You can see what it's like, and I'll give you my hot take on it.
Okay,
Just a second.
I
You
need
guys
the
talk
hot
amongst yourselves. So I'll be right back.
That is so funny. Now we're gonna do a Hulk and bag commercial.
A product review. This would be a product review. Nobody, I asked for it because I am curious. Because a lot of people in the comments were either like, "There's nothing that compares to a Hulken" because they're a brand loyalist. But it's like you don't know that. You've never touched the Aldi one before. How can you know it's not good or it is good?
Right.
So
well, I'm very intrigued now. I'm very intrigued.
Yeah, I'm intrigued too. I personally just use like a rolling crate. That's what I use when I go out to estate sales or whatever thrift, yard sales. That's what I use. Oh, it's still in the box.
So we have 3. Remember, I didn't open.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Okay, so this is the box. So this would be considered the medium.
Okay.
So the one that's 100 for Hulken, this one was obviously 30, like you were just mentioning. So right off the bat, you can tell it's probably not made in the USA. Let's just say.
Well,
which is okay. Yeah, nothing is. And this is it open. So.
Okay. Snazzy.
Cool. That'd be great for a neighborhood garage sale.
Yeah.
And it has the handles if you want to carry it like a purse, but it also has this handle on the side, which you can drag it along behind you, and it does turn on a dime. So there's that. So it has castered wheels. It's not just rolling wheels, but they're castered.
I don't know. I might have to have one of those.
I think you're 2 weeks too late.
Yeah.
So that's the thing, right? They opened at the first one I went to. They opened at 9 o'clock. By the time we got there at 10, they were already sold out. 2 pallets. And then
I
we
heard
ended
they
up
only
going.
got 6 bags per store is what I had heard. Whether that's true or not, I don't know. But that's how the Aldi finds go. If you're not there at open, you're probably not going to get it.
Yeah.
So
especially for something viral like those.
My hot take on it is basically, I'm okay with it, although it is small for the bins for us because we're plush niche down. So our carts are normally 10 feet tall because there's a lot of plush at the bins.
Yep.
So for that, when there's not a cart though, for smalls until you can find a cart, I think it could work. Also for flea markets, I think that would win at a flea market because unless you're on the gravel. If you're on the gravel, you might have to use the handles. But also for groceries.
Yeah, for sure.
Because it's thermal. Yeah. So those are just some of the things. And I think if I were to give it a score, I will say it's a little bit small for me. So I was a little bit disappointed by that, but not knowing what a Hulken medium was. So I didn't know if it was going to fold out more. I didn't want to open it in the store, all the things, right? But anyways, so maybe an 8 out of 10.
Okay, well that's pretty solid for $30.
Yeah,
that's pretty solid.
I think so. And we bought 3, so I mean, we got 3 for the price of 1.
Yeah, exactly.
So you did influence me. So there's that. And I want to thank you for that because I think we're going to get a lot of use out of this, especially when we travel.
You can get one on eBay for $121.
Holy cow.
Not eBay, Amazon.
Is that the? Oh, it is the. Wow.
That's the actual Hulken.
That is crazy. That's too much. That's a big one though.
Yeah. Where did it go now? I lost it.
That's crazy.
I got to see if you can get it anywhere.
Oh yeah, you can. Yeah, that's just the name brand. They're really popular.
Yeah, this one was
$121.
That's insane.
How much are the large ones? Is there a large?
This is Living Style, by the way.
Okay.
Living Style.
This is medium. Let me click into it and see if you can even get a large.
Yeah, it's crazy.
The large Hulkens are 200. So
that's what I thought.
I don't even see the choice for a large.
Yeah,
I know a lot of resellers did affiliate links with Hulken within the last year, so that's why you see a lot of resellers touting, the Hulken. They want them. I mean, I can't blame them. The affiliate dollars. So.
I think the first person I saw was Harry Tornado.
Okay,
that makes sense. Josh and Haley.
Yeah, that does make sense.
Business people at heart. We love them, and their content's great and all the things. They're like one of the first ones to do it. Really, during COVID, I'm sure your business probably had a spike during that time as well. Stefany, do you want to talk about that real quick?
during
Because I think that's when Harry Tornado started going crazy on YouTube.
I thought you meant mentally crazy. No, that would be me.
Well,
that would be crazy. I mean, that's when I changed. I think I had said at the beginning there, it's like, that's when I had changed what I was selling, kind of. That was back during COVID, going from, or how I was selling, rather. Let me put it that way. So I used to only list like 5 items a day. And that was really it. But then during COVID, you have all this copious free time. And a mind that's active like ours goes crazy with free time. Mm-hmm. That's when I started listing 10 to 15 items. I really changed, how many items I was listing. So that obviously how much I sold in dollars, that also changed, because I'm listing twice as much, basically. So, I mean, I'm not going to credit COVID for that's why people are shopping more. Maybe, I don't know. But that is also when I started listing more. And that really did change things for me. And I also had decided, so this is back during 2020, I needed to get a new car. So the car I had been driving at that time, I don't know how many years old, and it was coming to the end of its life. And I hadn't had a car payment in a long time. So I needed to do something. So I wasn't going to have a car payment, or have a car payment for a little amount of time. So that was another component of me wanting to list more, so I could, have a larger down payment on a vehicle. So
that makes sense. Yeah, it's smart to leverage.
Oh, sorry, Bob.
No,
yeah, I've pretty much always been cross-listing.
Okay.
As soon as Mercari and I joined Poshmark, I pretty much always cross-listed all the way through. I would say around 5-6 years. Whenever Mercari started in Poshmark,
Okay.
Yeah, I pretty much always cross-posted. Yeah, eBay I've been on, like I said, since around 2002. Yeah, probably about 6 years on Mercari and Poshmark. I had to go back and look to see. Somebody wants to fact check me. Oh my God, she's been on there since I don't know, a year. I don't remember. I'm guessing it's been around 6-7 years on those other platforms. But yeah.
So I think I know the answer to this, but are you using any cross-listing platforms to help with your cross-listing?
No, I do it manually myself. I've timed it out. I do have a video on how I cross-post. I do it a certain way. I haven't tried some of these newer ones. I know a lot of people like to use Nifty and Prime. I've tried Prime Lister before, but I've never tried Nifty. But the ones I have tried out have not saved me any time. And then for the cost of it didn't make sense for me. So I'm not going to make a statement on Nifty, though. I've never used it.
That's fair enough. But, Code Rocket City will save you $15 off your first month. Just saying.
Okay.
Just saying. I'm going to try to influence you now.
I do plan on trying it, because everybody is saying that they like it. So
yeah, it's tripled our business. I'll be quite honest with you. And Frank, I'm a data guy. You know that. You're learning that about me as we go here. What can I say? Generative AI, and it does all the things. So.
I definitely, that is definitely something I do need to try. I am interested on trying it to see if it lives up to the hype.
I've tried cross listers, and because I'm slightly technologically illiterate, I had a hard time understanding them and getting them to really work for me.
Okay.
But I will say that after I tried, Bob talked me into trying Nifty.
Okay.
And it's definitely the easiest cross lister I have ever used.
Well, that's good to know. That's good to know. Like I said,
and of course it does have a cost. It has a cost. Right. But for me, who really needs help with the technological end, I just feel like it's like I have a little bit of an assistant now.
Right. And if that's the only way you're going to cross post, then it's definitely worth it. It's better to pay the $100 or whatever it costs. I think that's how much it would be if I did it, because of how many listings I have. Same. It's better to pay the $100 and get more sales than to not cross post at all. Most likely at that point in time.
Right.
So
brings up a good point. Would you mind sharing how many listings that you currently have in your eBay store?
Yeah, I have about 2,500 right now.
25.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So with that, obviously your business model, whatever you got going on, do you find that to be sufficient for what you need, or is there a push this year for you to try to increase that? Or are you good with that number? Or?
I'd like to say, I mean, that's as much room as I have in my garage, honestly.
Oh, okay. Yeah. That's another question.
Now. Yeah. I mean, I could fit another 500 maybe or so if I organized it a little bit better. And it depends on what it is. Like if it's smalls or large, I don't know. I think 2,500 is plenty. And I've said before, if I could get it back down to 2,000, that would be great. But a lot of the things I sell, some of them are just longer tail items. Some things sell right away, and then other things, they take a year or 2 years, 3 years. They just take up a while to sell.
A lot of people worry about that. I'm not a person that worries about that.
Same. And on almost every video, someone's like, but how long did it take you to sell?
Yeah.
Like, they're trying to get me in a gotcha. And it's like, well, this is my business. You don't walk into Walmart and go, that's going to take you too long to sell. Not worth it. And it's like, well, this is, my job. I got the space.
Right.
As long as it fits, it sits for the most part. And if I got the potential to have profit in there. And like I've said before, like if something I feel is stale, I'll bring it to the consignment sale. I mean, it's keep it moving.
Yeah, there's always those greedy goblin haters. I got one for the first time on my YouTube. There's like the cost of it sitting in your inventory and all this stuff. And I was just like, I'm not an actuary. I don't plan on, I don't really know. I don't go deep into that type of thing. I know that, for plush, it takes a while. And that's just how it is.
Yeah.
I'm okay with that. I have the storage and the means. So it's like a rotisserie chicken, like an old, set it and forget it type of thing.
Exactly. It will make money eventually. Time is going to pass regardless. It's going to pass regardless.
Yep.
And if that item's going to sell for $50 in 2 years, again, you wouldn't, tell anybody, if I give you $1 today and in 3 years it's going to be worth 50. Like nobody, who's going to turn that down? 3 years is going to pass.
That's right.
I think the analogy I was making in that video was $48 worth of items sold for $2,667. There's a video on my YouTube that shows you, what sold during that time. And I was making the analogy of, taking that money and putting it in the stock market over the same amount of time. I would have gotten this instead of the 2,000% that I got out of eBay or, associated platforms or whatever. And they were just coming at me about, all those small details. And I was just like, well, you're not really getting the point of this. I could have taken that $50 and put it in, or I could have went to a thrift store. You have to do what you have to do during the time, in that 6 months, I sold, 50 items. So,
right.
I was being generous. It was actually probably less of an investment, quite honestly. So
there's always those, negative Nellies that just want to poo-poo on anything they can. Like one of them I got today was, oh, you're a hoarder. Well, that's not a hoard. That's my inventory. And then same thing. You're not going to walk into Walmart and go, look at this hoarding of a store. That's inventory that's available for sale. That's how I make money. This is my job. I'm not hoarding anything. Like you need to look up what hoarding is because this ain't it.
If you're not listing it for sale, then you're a hoarder.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. That is true. Like if you just like to go shop, you're not a reseller, you're just a shopper.
Yeah,
you
that's
gotta
right.
All the other steps.
Yeah. And then there's probably people out there that are in that, but I want to encourage those folks that are resellers that are just going shopping to be more intentional about their listings, their profit piles, and get at least 5 up a day. Like, at least get at least 5 up a day. Do yourself, your future self a kindness. And do that and watch your business grow. That's what we're about on Launchpad. And we can't say enough about you coming on, Stefany. We appreciate you so much.
Well, thank you.
Before we break, let's do one thing that we've never done on the podcast before, because you're such a special guest. We're going to do this new thing, and I want to put you on the spot where I want you to shout out another reseller that you want to see on the podcast. So if you want to shout someone out, now's your chance. Stefany Fuson. Who would you like to see?
I gotta say Cosmic Deal Heather again. I mean, she's the one I've been following on Instagram the longest. I find her the biggest inspiration. If you like selling toys, she sells toys. If you like retail arbitrage, she does retail arbitrage. She does it all. She does great reselling videos on YouTube, TikTok, Instagram. I'd call her an internet friend. I really do find her inspirational. She's a mother. She's married. She's got all this other stuff going on in her life too. And she really does make excellent content.
Oh, there you go. Cosmic Deal Heather, we're calling you out. On
no, I don't know. Let me do that now. Let me go back. Let me see. I really do enjoy everything she does. Yeah. And she is why I would say she's one of the reasons I started sharing on Instagram. I really do find her an inspiration. I really do.
That's
Okay.
awesome.
That's
what's
how I
next?
feel about you, Stephanie.
Oh, thank you. Thank
Me
you.
too.
This is
Listen.
extremely enjoyable.
Ditto.
I mentioned off camera, I took PTO to be here.
Yeah.
That's how much I enjoy you. So I'm just saying.
I
for the
hope
record.
it was worth it.
Oh yeah, it was worth
At
it.
least it was paid time off and not just time off. Then
Yeah.
don't do that. Yeah.
I got a good job. I can't complain.
Well,
And Ellie too. Ellie has inspired me. I need to do more content. I need to do more live content. And Ellie, you're gonna have to help me.
Let's
Ellie's
do it.
inspired me too
Let's
for
do
social media. Honestly, I
Yeah.
just started with the new year, really getting after it, and hopefully
You
we'll see
have.
this grow.
You have.
Yeah, we're looking forward to it. And before we wrap up things, I want to say what's next for Stefany Fuson. What do you see your business growing? How do you see that for 2026?
Oh gosh.
I know it's a tough question. It really is. It
I
makes
mean,
you really think.
honestly, I don't think I'm making any really changes in my reselling. The only thing I really want to do is become more consistent on making content and videos for people. I do want to make more how-to videos. I think I'm pretty good at teaching things. There's a lot of videos I want to do. I just want to have the time to do them and to share them. I just want to help more people, I guess, in that way. That's the biggest change I want to make is to just get more content out there, videos to help people.
Yeah, speaking of the content, where can people find you on all the socials? If you're shout yourself out from the rooftop.
It's very simple. I'm going to tell you how creative I am. My username is the same thing everywhere. It's my name that I was given upon birth, my first name, and then my last name upon marriage.
There you go.
So it's at Stefany Fuson, and it's spelled. I'm going to spell it out for you. It's spelled, I guess, kind of like it sounds: STEFANY FUSON, and that's on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, anywhere.
And now on Spotify, because we're actually broadcasting to Spotify. So if you can't watch this video and you're hearing the sound of our voices, just know that you can go to Spotify.com, put in Launchpad Reseller Podcasts, and you can listen to Stefany on the go.
Ooh. I could be in your car right now.
You could.
What a creepy thought.
You could. And you know what? You'd be better for it.
Oh, wow.
For it.
I could be in your kitchen right now.
Yeah.
While we're cooking dinner.
While you're cooking dinner. I will not help you cook the dinner. I mean, I would help you cook the dinner if I was there, but
yeah, favorite recipe. You should post that.
I have posted like cheap meal ideas. Like I call them bad food photography. I post that on my Instagram sometimes, like things that I make that are cheap meals,
Love it.
It's like that show Nailed It. You ever see that one on Food Network?
Oh yeah.
Nailed it.
Yeah. I mean, like the food tastes good with my photography on the food. It leaves a lot to be desired.
Love it.
So I have a question for you, Stefany.
Okay.
If you can think way back, what exactly was that first moment that said, "Hey, I think I could be a reseller"? What led you to that?
17 or 18. I don't honestly, I don't even know. I think I was just looking for something to make money, honestly. You're talking about I finished high school and like looking for a job. At that time I was working at Sam Goody, I think. Okay, tell you when that was. I'm working at Sam Goody. It doesn't even exist anymore.
It was a while ago.
Just looking for ways to make some money. Because you're making what, $4 or $5 back then?
So did you see a YouTube video?
Well, no, this predates YouTube. I mean, you're talking 2002.
Oh,
so this is before everything, basically.
Before everything.
Honestly,
Stephany was getting paper checks from eBay.
Honestly, yes.
Yeah. Wow.
Paper
I didn't even think
money
about
orders, cash in the mail. You'd have to wait for people's check to cash. I mean, we're talking about before digital cameras were really a thing. And if they were a thing, you were getting like the tiny little pixel that was extremely pixelated. And that's yeah, exactly. Like
talk about faith and reselling.
Yeah, because most people would just describe things. Like most listings didn't have a picture. It was just a description. Hey, this is a, Jungle Book toy from McDonald's. It's this one, whatever. And like I said, I would scan things on the computer scanner. I mean, that was what I'd come up with, but
wow.
Yeah.
That's kind of almost like Scott, the Ka-Ching King.
Yeah.
Okay. He started
He was in the early days.
Too.
They were taping money taping coins to pieces of paper and mailing them to them. So
that's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, or books. Like that was another thing you could scan in. Like I remember I had a breakfast at Tiffany's. Like I don't remember if it was first edition, but I think it sold for $200 back then.
Nice.
That was a lot of money. A lot of money, especially back then.
Did people in your life think you were crazy? Are you really going to do that? Are you really going to do this for a real job?
They probably think that still.
People still think I'm crazy.
Yes, that's why I'm saying it, because I get that.
Online, because real people in real life, yeah, they probably think I'm a different color of crazy. Like I didn't really make it my full-time job until like I said, my kids were born. So 15 years is really when I made it my full-time. And I had been doing it on the side for that period of time anyways. So like nobody thought, oh, well, you're not going to make enough money. I mean, I was making as much as I was working at, Kohl's back then, the supervisor. So, I mean, when you think about you're working full-time for somebody else, you're only making, I think I was making $13 an hour back in 2011. And then you think now, okay, well, I could sell this stuffed animal for $25-$30. Well, that's 2-3 hours worth of work. It only took me 20 minutes. What would you rather do? Sell a couple of stuffed animals and stay home with your kids?
Right.
Or go to work and bust your butt and work with customers that are disrespectful all day?
Yeah.
Exactly. The word she's looking for is hateful.
Yeah.
Ellie, do you have any final questions for Stefany before we wrap things up?
I think you've already spoken on it. As a mom of 4 myself, doing this as supplemental income for my family, I guess that was my biggest question, and how that played a role for you now and when your kids were younger.
Yeah. So like the supplemental income. So like I had said before, I'd really only, when my kids were little, I was only listing like 5 things a day. And at first that was just money. Okay, well, we can now go do some fun things around town, or we have money to go to a cheap Disney World vacation, staying off property and eating Chef Boyardee out of a can, kind of.
Yeah, those are the best.
Disney World vacation. And it started off with that. It's like, okay, well, now I'm making, enough to do extra things and pay bills. Because my husband's job has always been enough to pay the bills, but it's not going to be all the fun money and all the extra money. And, if something happens, So it just kind of, evolved from there. And what I do like about it is, like, if my kids are sick or have a doctor's appointment, or
freedom.
Oh, by the way, it's a half day and school didn't tell you, and I got to go pick my kids from school. I don't have to worry about asking anybody for off.
Yeah,
you got to ask myself. And then it's just the freedom of it is what I really enjoy about it.
I love the freedom of it. I personally am a part-time. Like I said, I have a full-time gig, but the freedom that it brings my wife in regards to all those things.
Yeah.
And I just want to remind people that freedom isn't free either, but she also gets up, at 11 p.m. to 3 o'clock in the morning and is running this business. So even though she gets the freedom of that, there is a cost to it. I just want to be very clear. If you're new to reselling, it will gain you a lot of freedom. You don't have to beg for time off, like Stefany just mentioned, which is really refreshing. And it's so sad in this country that it's come to that, that you have to do that type of thing. Or if you need to be sick because your children are, because your children are really sick, and who wants somebody else raising their children? I mean, quite honestly.
Right. That is the decision I made. Like I said, many years ago, it's like, I can't have my parents and my sister and my mother-in-law just watch my kids all the time, and I don't get to see them. I mean, that's just not what I wanted to do. And I understand a lot of people that's the only choice they have.
Right.
Yeah. There's nothing wrong with that, but there are options.
Yeah, there are options reselling. Yeah. And like you said, you have to be disciplined enough. And I think that's
I had the tiger.
A lot of people don't realize is you have to still be disciplined. Mm-hmm. And I still try to, start my work at 9 a.m. every day. And then, I try to finish up at a certain time. And I have a goal of how many items I want to list. And I think that's where a lot of people go wrong is they think, I'm just going to sit around in pajamas all day and, watch movies all day. And they never actually get to the reselling part of it. They're going out to have the fun at the thrift store part of it, the shopping part of it. That's a spending money kind of thing. That's not a making money kind of thing. You got to do all of it.
Yeah. You have to treat yourself. You have to treat yourself like you are your employee.
Exactly.
It's hard. Accountability is a hard thing.
Yeah.
It is. It is. And if you have to be self-motivated, I think is the main thing. And if you're not self-motivated, you don't have a goal, you're just not going to make it. You're just not.
No.
So
Well, that's what the
Yeah.
podcast is about this year. We want to thank you again so much for coming on the podcast. We appreciate you so much. I want to remind everybody, if you cannot be good at it. We'll catch you on the next one. Thank you again, Stefany, for coming on the podcast. We love you and adore you so much. We're going to go ahead and end this one, but I want you to stick around, Stefany. I got one more question for you. All right,
Okay.
we're going to go ahead and do that. And again, Ruth Ann, thank you so much for coming on as our guest
Thank
host.
you for having me.
Picker,
Very nice to meet you,
Treasure
Stefany.
for
Oh, thank you. It was nice to meet you too.
Love you. Mean it.
Bye.
We'll catch you on the next one.
Bye.